Welcome to Film My Watchlist. My name is Richard Keeney. I'm delighted to announce our recent partnership with MovieBabbleReviews.com. MovieBabble is a website for film reviews and articles, and I definitely recommend you checking out the great content they have there. Michael Inside is the latest film from award-winning Irish director Frank Berry, starring Dafhyd Flynn, the young actor discovered by Berry for his beautiful film I Used to Live Here in 2014. When Michael, played by Flynn, is arrested for making the naive mistake of agreeing to hold drugs for his friend's brother, he finds himself in the oppressively vicious cycle of the Irish prison system. Being merely 20 years old, with his mother dead from a drug overdose since he was a child and his father currently in prison, his only support structure is his elderly grandfather. The narrative framework of Michael Inside is masterfully effective. By allowing us to see prison through the eyes of a scared young man who's barely old enough to be there, the intimidating and brutal reality of his situation is made all the more impactful. Dafhyd Flynn is incredibly assured in his portrayal, bringing an astonishing level of subtlety and raw power to his performance for such a young actor. Being on the precipice of adulthood, Flynn rides the line between meek, scared kid and a physically capable young man very well. Developed with the participation of Pathways, a prison rehabilitation service, Frank Berry shoots his film with empathy and humanism. The terror of prison and effects of violence are brought into sharp focus, with long takes that let us sit with characters as they make decisions and observe their natural reactions in wake of the most detrimental ones. One moment in particular, in which we linger on tough gang leader David in the aftermath of him seriously injuring another inmate, brings home the scared human beneath, lashing out to save his own skin. David, played by Dunford of Patrick's Day and Vikings fame, is a riveting enigma, by turns warm, protective, as well as brutally violent and intimidating. His relationship with Flynn's Michael is the crux of the film's suspense and humanity. David's character acts as a fitting depiction of the toll of incarceration and the way it can chip away at someone's kinder traits. Berry's tendency not to cut away or reverse shot a conversation makes scenes all the more natural, whilst acting as a demonstration of his fantastic eye for composition. Indeed, the director's background in documentary is brought to the forefront in his style, keeping at enough of a distance to lend the film an air of cinema verite, whilst peppering subtle cinematic flair when required. In an excellently subtle moment of direction, a steaming kettle is evocatively utilised to bring us into Michael's traumatised consciousness, an uncomfortable reminder of the things he'd rather forget. Prison life stays with you no matter how brief, invading even those areas that were once safe ground. Tom Comerford's cinematography is evocatively cold and grey, the slivers of light filtered through bars and windows are captured with stunning crispness. The film is fittingly claustrophobic, with exterior establishing shots used sparingly, and in the case of the prison, not at all. Even when on the outside, Michael is framed in windows and doorways, underpasses and against metal fencing. Michael may be locked up when in prison, but he's just as trapped in his home life. This serves the purpose of making his fate dreadfully inevitable. Drugs, the backdrop to it all, the reason for his mother's death, the bringer of neighbourhood power, and the cause of his incarceration. While, for the most part, police, lawyers and prison officers process Michael as a number, a cog in the wheel of their daily professional lives, we, having been afforded a glimpse at the reality behind Michael's mistakes, can't help but despair at the lack of empathy or understanding he's given. Even his kindly grandfather, effectively portrayed by Lalor Roddy, can't offer Michael a means of escape. He's just as stuck as his grandson, only able to offer the advice to toughen up and watch on helplessly as Michael is taken away from him. Michael Inside is a searing indictment of a system that looks on as others are consumed by it, with little or no choice to avoid exploitation beyond taking the law into their own hands. It's tragic, shocking and fantastically well made. Dafhyd Flynn has an incredibly bright future ahead of him, while Frank Berry further solidifies his place as one of Irish cinema's most exciting talents, with another powerful film to add to his repertoire. Michael Inside is a must-see and a fresh entry into the prison genre that speaks to profoundly human themes. I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 5. If you enjoyed this review, do consider subscribing and checking out our other content. Film My Watchlist Patreon is now up and running. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the link in the description below. Any contributions are deeply appreciated. Thanks very much.